Yes, we have more silly comments, people, and yes, I know there will be some folks who say, "Spoon, you mischievous utensil, you do not feed the trolls." But I put it to you, trolls are funny, quick-witted, and creative. They can meme. The left don't have any of those qualities, and they can't meme. Ergo, they aren't trolls, they're just miserable pricks. And this one in particular is quite a doozy. I like that the right's concept of seriously discussing politics. Okay, instantly, the tribal identity is established. Not even the first point is correct. The entire premise of this whole post then is already wrong, which means the whole thing is going to be a shit show. Is harassing random strangers on the internet. Have you ever seen any dialogue on the internet anywhere ever? And when they don't immediately justify their entire belief system to you, you guys just immediately pretend that the whole concept is obviously bullshit. You guys cannot, which is one word by the way, even comprehend that decades, no, more than a century of scientific work has been done on these topics, and that it takes more time and words than a single tweet to understand all of it fully. We never claimed it didn't, by the way, but Das Kapital is still shit, and this is Discord, not Twitter. Glad you're paying attention. To you, your ignorance is your shield. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what that means, or rather how that applies in this particular context. You're most likely the most infuriating type of person to argue with because as opposed to, by the way, you can see the bootlicking nerd wedge kicking in right about now, to far-right grifters that only say what they say for money and actually believe your own bullshit fully. I'm not a cultist, you idiot, but alright, Babylon. But at the exact same time, you are so stuck in your own mindset, your own privileged-ass perspective of the world, that you can't even fathom the sheer concept that things exist outside of this tiny bubble. Man, if only they knew my political perspective, because anyone who's watched this channel or spoken to me before would right about now snicker at how wrong this one's perception of me is. Well, this combined, my god, would you learn to fucking spell, you pleb? This combined with your intense arrogance to make you project all of your problems. I didn't project any problems, by the way, merely pointed out theirs and then laughed about it, onto others without ever critically reflecting onto your own worldview. This is written in a really strange way. And this makes absolutely no sense, by the way, because my political perspective doesn't feature at all in this bullshit. The fact that he doesn't know my political view at all tells me he's strawmanning my wang off here. In short, that's too late for that. When honest people talk politics, that's an oxymoron, there is no such thing as an honest leftist. They're hoping to learn something from it. That's definitely not a leftist. To understand different perspectives. When you discuss politics, you barely listen to the other person. All you care about is how you can present their argument in the worst way possible. I mean, I don't need to do that, I can just let them talk, while proudly waving your own ignorance of the topic. Is this before or after I inquired as to how they provide residence and occupation in the absence of private property? Man, this just keeps getting dumber and dumber. I watched this video because I was curious what your angle would be, and you did a piss poor job of listening to that, by the way. What arguments you would present to justify your outlandish worldview. But you don't do any of those things. You ceaselessly pretend that you are poking holes in an argument while never presenting a coherent explanation for anything. Yeah, that's kind of the point of the troll, genius. This is a child's view of arguing, yes, because 21st century children are so well known for their discussion of the merits of private property these days. I hope that when you're older, you'll look back at this and cringe, knowing that you had a lot to learn. But something tells me that you believe that you already know everything. Well, if it's any consolation to you, I'm not quite that conceited. I don't actually think I know everything. I just know enough to know that the person I was conversing with was a left-wing authoritarian hell-bent on violence because, well, they said so. You know what's really messed up? I sense more aggression coming from this comment than I did during the entire conversation that I had on Discord. Word of warning for you guys, never post a comment like this. Because this is a very angry person who evidently did not listen to a damn word that I said. But let's not get too upset at them, because clearly this person is also very slow, starting off with the seriously discussing politics. When the video is called Why You Don't Discuss Politics on Discord, the thumbnail says don't discuss the politics, and I say in the video, I'm trolling this person, and then I end it with, this is why you don't discuss politics, because it's more fun to troll. So there's 4 apparently not very clear indicators for you that seriously discussing politics was not the MO here, but this gimp needs to be told no less than 5 damn times for it to penetrate his prehistoric noggin. But let's see if we can break down the soy cringe. Firstly, I didn't ask them to immediately justify their worldview. I didn't need to. It wasn't my first time hearing this man's opinion, nor would it require any further probing, because once you hear someone say left-wing pros and exploitation, it's a bit like seeing a Texan with a MAGA hat and a shotgun. His political affiliation is rather recognizable. Nor do I give a crap about a scientific work. This does not require a scientific explanation. And when I asked him to provide me with an answer as to how this state would provide housing for their citizenry and their work requirements, I was met with a, "Why are you asking me? Why not go read up on it?" This was after that pleb begrudgingly admitted he was an authoritarian, and I need to read the definition, but the definition would argue no. He's against private property, but pro the state having a monopoly on education and enforcing indoctrination through violence. Yet this idiot gives me crap about my so-called arrogance and not learning from somebody else. Meanwhile, in the worldview advocated for by the dipshit on Discord, I wouldn't even be able to have this fucking conversation because I'd be punished by the damn state. And the fact that you don't say anything about his point of view leads me to believe you are also a bootlicking simp for authoritarianism, and much like him, you also do not provide me with any evidence of any kind, no scholars or reading material whatsoever. No, you're just going to try a cheap chastising tactic that, much like his, failed miserably. We can start to see a bit of a pattern here, can't we? I mean, for heaven's sake, if arrogance is my shield, ignorant condescension is yours, because this idiot is exactly the same type of fool I poked fun at on my video. The head up his own ass thumbnail is proving extremely accurate here. If you can tell me how to ask, via text mind you, who gets to decide in your system where people reside and work if you have no private property without agitating your cramping balls, I'm all ears. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did giggle when he said things exist outside of your bubble. I mean, my goodness, if they knew my nationality and political thinking, they would quickly recognize, well, hopefully anyway, that describing my perspective without any acknowledgement as to how I got to it as bubbled makes him look, well, insane. What is my bubble exactly? Do tell. Because if your ramble is anything to go by, I'm gonna go with a cliched one that encompasses your preconceived notions of far right. You know what these people are like by now. Anything to the right of Mao, etc., etc. And I did listen to the guy's view. It's why I was able to troll him as well as I did. I merely got him to admit to things he wants for this authoritarian state of his, while he then hid away from how any of this would come to fruition past indoctrination and violence. And if you think I'm incorrect, why in your unnecessarily long comment did you not even give a single example of where exactly I am wrong? All you did during this entire comment was moan like a little bitch. And that is all for today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.